Alright, hello all programmers who are watching this video, or anyone who's interested. This is the first part of Let's Make a Video Game Together. Actually, this will be part 0, because I won't actually be teaching you how to make a video game, but actually what type of programs we'll be using, how to get started, and everything you actually need. A couple of things you do need is just an open mind and a couple of ears to hear what I'm saying. Unless you're deaf, you can always just try to guess what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, for people who have been following along with my tutorials, if you go onto my videos, you might notice, let me go onto my videos real quick, that a couple of the names have been changed to Let's Make a Video Game. Now, in order to follow along properly, what you're looking for is the BBT6, which is just Blitz Basic Tutorial 6, Blitz Basic Tutorial 7. If you're new, you can always follow along with part 1. See, already 3 parts are already made for you. Or you can start from the beginning, so you kind of have a understanding what the heck's going on. It's always best, I actually advise you start all the way at episode 1, which is all the way down here. Here we go. Down here, so that way you can have a basic understanding of what Blitz Basic is all about. This gives you the fundamentals and ideas of how this program works. And even though they're pretty long, trust me, that 16 minutes I know does go by pretty quick if you follow along and actually take in everything I say. Or, you know, if it's completely boring, it might be long, but in the long run, I think it's pretty worth it. So, but if you want to just get started into what we're making, jump right into this video after this in particular video I'm making right now, or actually talking about right now. Okay, so let's get started. What we'll be using is a program called Blitz Basic. Basic has been used for years and years, since like almost the beginning of in-house programming. Most programmers of the beginning of private programmers actually started with this program. Big history, but I'm actually not going to get into it. What you want to do is go into your web browser. I'll be using Firefox, so let's actually start from the beginning. My web browser is right, actually it's normally down here, so just click on your web browser, type in Blitz Basic, space is okay. The first link is what you're going to click on, and then go to products. And you'll see a couple different products. I don't work with Blitz Max. If you want to work with Blitz Max, I actually prefer you to go into C++, since Blitz Max and C++ are pretty similar. And a lot of other people who worked with Blitz Max actually do agree with that idea, that you're better off just going to C++. Blitz Basic, if you start with this, it's a good stepping stone to C++. I used to be able to program with C++, but it's been a while, and I got pretty lazy with it. It's pretty giant, but I do have some experience with it. There's a couple products you'll see, pretty pricey. Let's start at the bottom. There's 2 books I know that do work with Blitz 3D if you don't want to always follow along, or if you want to get a little ahead. This is one of them. The other one is one by Manish Sethi, which I totally don't advise, since the guy doesn't really understand what he's talking about, or he probably does, but he doesn't teach it in the best way. I've read his books before, and if you ask me, I don't even think he can properly explain why things work. And just trust me on this one. He doesn't explain how to do things properly, or if you were to be set on your own, you wouldn't really be able to make your own game, because you'll only be stuck with the code he taught you and not really understand why it works. So if you compare my way of doing things to his, you'll see a huge difference between the two. So I don't follow along with them, but you definitely do want to get this book if you're considering buying a book, because this is actually made by the developers who made the Blitz programs. So they definitely know what they're talking about. I haven't actually looked into this book, but I do have my trust in them, because their tutorials that they've already set up are actually pretty good and far beyond Manish Sethi's books. I don't know how he got into the publishing business or getting his books published, but you know, I guess whoever did publish his books basically publishes anything. Because I actually read a couple books from the same publisher that he got published from, and they are just ridiculous. They don't teach very well at all. I took a couple C++ books. But enough about that. Let's move on to the programs now. There's 2 of them. The prices have actually raised. They were actually cheaper, because I got Blitz 3D, I believe, for $25. I think they're on a sale at one point. But I believe it's because Vista was out, and Vista wasn't doing very good, so their price was actually really low. And even this was way lower. I think this was 25 bucks, 10 bucks. Anyway, so you can use either one of them, and you don't have to buy it. You can always use the demo. Buying it basically gives you unlimited use. you're able to make executables, and what executables are is standalone programs where you don't need the source code. You can just basically distribute it with any Windows user. I guess you use DirectX. I didn't really know that. Anyway, uh, I believe you can use these as much as you want. Just the limit is you can only go up to 15 kilobyte source code, which actually is a lot. I know 15 kilobytes is low on space, but the program itself can be pretty big because it's taken from the computer's RAM, but the source code really doesn't take anything. It's like a Word document, so it's like a couple kilobytes. But I do advise, if you can, do buy the program. If not, just try now. Completely free. Just click on that. A little box will appear to download it. Just download it and install it, and you'll be ready to go. You can either use Blitz 3D or Blitz Plus. My tutorials work for both, but I prefer you to use Blitz 3D because that's what I'll be using. And not only that, you can work with 3D. And yes, from what I remember, if you work with just 2D, you should be fine with the Blitz 3D. It should be able to basically run any program with no problems at all. If this doesn't give you unlimited startups or unlimited days, I know that there's a site that does support that download. I don't remember where it was. It's still a trial version, but you at least can run it as much as you want. If you can, do buy, but $100 is a lot. So yeah, it's not too great at the moment. Gosh, recession. Anyway, when you run the program, give it a second. It takes a little while sometimes. It should look something like this. If you have the trial version, you'll only see 3 of the options. I forget which ones they are, but I know definitely you'll have the command reference. So once you actually get your hands on the program, do some searching. I'm actually going to show you around a little. Language reference basically just gives you an idea what it's about. Command reference is probably the most important part of the entire thing. If you're a beginner, it basically teaches you what all the little commands do. Just click on the letter, or you can do the category. Categories are probably easier if you don't know what you're looking for, and tell you all the commands and what they do in a brief little explanation. Now, some explanations are actually very vague and small. So let me see. Brush. I know the brushes are pretty small. See if I can find. Yeah, see, like this. Doesn't really tell you much. It doesn't really show you how it's used in the code. But for the parts that do show you how it's used in the code, like right here in the example, very useful. So command reference. In order to get back to it, you just push to this home button. Command reference, and there it is. Back and forth button, just like an internet browser. New source code. Open the source code. Alright, so let's get a little bit more familiar with other buttons and the little menu up here. This closes the source code. This saves it. It's pretty basic. Search for something inside the code in case you are looking for a specific part of your code. You just click on that find button. This runs the code. Home button again. File, just basic stuff. New, open, close. If you don't like these buttons or you get confused what they are, you can always use this. Save all, which means if you have different tabs, save all will save all of them. Not sure what that. I guess it just moves the tab. Previous file, recent files. Open up recent files you had. You can get rid of the toolbars if you want to, or put them back. Basic stuff. Cut, paste. There's also a button for it that I don't use. If you highlight it, there's a cut, there's a copy. Here's the paste button. Find next. Find next is if you already have something typed into the find and you're looking for another part of the code. Find next just takes you to the next one of the same keyword you put in. Replace just replaces a word with something else, like basic word. Run program, basically what that does. Run it again. I don't know what the difference between the two. Check for errors, basically checks if there's errors, but doesn't always work for some reason. Create executable. If you don't have the trial, you won't have this available, but that, like I said, creates the standalone program where you don't have to have the source code. It basically creates executable, which looks something like this. Mine has a custom icon, but basically you can run the game without having the source code. You can give it to friends, share it, post it, wrong area, post on a website. I'm not sure what this does. I've never seen anyone actually use it, but if someone does know what this is, feel free to tell me, because it'd be nice to know what this does. But yeah, not sure what use it has. Okay, the debug enabled. Basically, if this is on, when you run it, it'll read the entire code and check if there's any errors, and actually tell you if there's an error and show you where it is. So you usually want that on. The reason why you would want it off is if you're trying to create executable, but normally you want that on. If you don't have that on and there's an error, then it'll crash your computer, and you have to go through the whole, do you want to close this, or do you want to look for a solution icon? Help, not much help, just basically, yeah, see it? You know, what the heck does that do? Okay, well anyway, yeah, basically not a lot of help, just takes you to home, which is already right here. About, just tells you about the about thing. Let's close these real fast, close. So see with the, oh yeah, back with the debug enabled, if I run it, it'll tell me that doesn't exist, so pretty helpful thing. Alright, so that's about it that I'm going to show in this video with the IDE. Now we're not going to save. So let me show you what we're going to work towards. Here's the game that I'll be actually teaching you how to play. Or how to make, not to play. Well, actually, yeah, I'll teach you how to play. It's a basic space shooting game. These rocks come from the top of the screen. I don't know why the font's so crazy right now. It usually doesn't look that way. It's kind of strange. Oh well. Anyway, so if you look, there's actually, it may not look like a lot, but there actually is a lot going on. For one, numbers are appearing after you blow up the rocks. You got some particles falling. The background's moving. You got different shaped asteroids or space dust, space rocks, whatever you want to call them, and little ship that shoots. Couple bars right here. If you ask me, it's a pretty fun game. I had fun making it. I actually lost all the source codes to it after my computer had a complete meltdown. I lost all my files. Luckily, I still have this. Anyway, I'll be teaching you how to make a game very similar to this. Actually, hopefully, if I can, make it a game that looks exactly like this. There's a lot to it, but it's really fun to learn, and great to kind of mess with and, you know, be able to show your friends. Anyway, with Let's Make a Video Game Together, what my plan is that we make a game together and everyone kind of puts their ideas in, and if they create some cool enemies, maybe they could share it, or maybe if they want a specific enemy created, they can always ask me to help them create it, so that way I can show you how to make it, so everyone kind of has an idea of how to make more complex enemies. But any ideas anyone has, be sure to submit them or request them, and we'll for sure put them in. But it'd be pretty awesome if everyone actually helps, because one thing is you'll show up in the credits, of course. We'll make a game all together, and it's just, you know, a community thing. We'll be, if we can, we can then post it onto some sites, and you know, it's a great way to actually get a word out there of what we can do. If you ask me, it'd be a lot of fun, because imagine all our ideas all put into one simple game. That simple game will then become something pretty spectacular, if you ask me. Pretty awesome. So you got some enemies shooting at us, all sorts of stuff. There's just thousands and thousands, actually endless possibilities of what you can make with just a simple game. Power-ups can be made. You know, it doesn't have to be just a simple shooter, because I already know, or from what I remember, I already have power-ups in this game. So, a lot of fun. Oh yeah, there's a laser. Ah man, I died though. Forgot to shoot the laser. But anyway, a lot of things can be done. A lot of ideas can be thrown out there. You know, we can have a lot of fun with this. So, be sure to, you know, get thinking. Try to have an idea of what you want seen in this game and what you want made, and you know, together we can really make something amazing. But first, let me just teach you how to do this. So from here, what you want to do is going back onto YouTube. If you don't want to go onto my channel, that's fine. You can always type in let's make a video game, and let's see if mine is the first thing to pop up. And you know, it's not. Of course. Okay. And I'm pretty sure, well, look at the odds of that. Okay, well, just type in my name, Majin Wamu, and you got a couple things going on. Just click on my channel, and it'll be in the uploads. So let's go to uploads, and it should be some of the latest ones. Let's see if I can find it. There's one of them. That's a shame that it's not showing up. But anyways, yeah, just click on that. Remember, if you really have no idea what's going on, be sure to check out my first tutorial, and I'll give you a step-by-step guide of how to begin, what the beginning of the program should look like, and actually what all your setup to any program should look like. And I really go in depth. Here in these videos, I kind of go a little faster because I already taught all the basics. But if you're already go and you just want a game made and you kind of understand the fundamentals, be sure to click on these, and we'll get started right away. A lot of fun, and I really look forward to making this game together with you guys. Right? Okay. See you later.